Okay, so Libra, I did an entire reading, and it's like I'm gonna have to do it all over again. So, alrighty, it cut off, and I already know what you all would have said in the comment section. So let me avoid that. So let me start over again. So somewhere in here, you treating yourself to a spa day, and you're stepping through your portal here. Somebody is getting some money somewhere. It looks like that's what the cards say. So anyway, so the moon is in your sign, or at least is moving into your sign. This video is for, give me a second. Give me 1 second. So my apologies to you all. I feel like the mic, I'm using a wireless mic, Libras, and I guess the juice kind of sort of ran out a little bit. Well, not a little bit, but it ran out. So either it ran out or it didn't. So not a little bit, it ran out. So I want to make sure filming you all's video that I don't, give you a halfway video. So let's get into it. Let's get into your video. So thank you for your patience, Libras. This video is for June 5th through June 12th/13th. So that puts us, we have a full moon on the 11th. So for those of you all who do moon rituals, I have moon rituals on, and this is for the light side of the moon, like, charging your gemstones and crystals, those kind of things, journaling on TikTok, and I also have it on the YouTube Shorts, right? For those of you all who follow me on those platforms there. So they're there. You can print them out if you like. So right now we're in the waxing gibbous moon. So, but the moon is in Libra, and it affects the part of the body, your kidney, your bladder, your skin, your veins. You can find that information on AstroSeek. For those of you all, just FYI, it has all that information there. They have a lot of good information on their website. So for those who want to know, I welcome today with open arms. So intention. All right, let's get into it. Angel number. So thank you for joining me here. If you're over on the Patreon side, your video is up over there as well. If you want a bonus video, send me a text message. My information is down below, and I will just tell me what topic, and I will try to film a video on that topic. 600, unconditional love. Family is everything. So not everyone who loves you is perfect, but the unconditional love they give you is. So your angels want you to focus on the unconditional loving bonds of family. If family is something that you don't have, they want you to create it. So who have you taken for granted that you can connect with today? Reach out to a family member or a cherished a cherished friend on the phone. Send them a card or pay them a visit. So 600. All right. So by now you all know that you rule 7th house, Libra. If not, your birth chart, 7th house is all about marriage, relationships, partnerships, business contracts, inner desires, enemies. And so your polarity sign is Aries. Aries rules 1st house. And so source, your spirit, who you're welcoming today with open arms and saying family is everything. Sometimes family is not blood related. Sometimes family could be friends. You know, like sometimes you grew up with people and you consider them as family. Sometimes family is work family. Um, or whoever you consider as family. Like whoever you consider as family. Those relationships, right? So someone has a prideful spirit. I don't know who that is, but yeah. So whoever that is, it may be time to um, make room. So you have the gift of clairsentience. You pick up on others' vibrations, their emotions, their moods, their feelings about things. So time to do a crown chakra cleanse. So your ancestors are proud of you. Wealth is within your reach. So like you have a wealth of knowledge about something, but one red flag, one first red flag. Oh my gosh, pray, pray and meditate, but your enemy's plan backfire, and the only enemy is really within, really. So it's just within, right? So it's like you may recognize something. You may recognize something within yourself, like it could have been something that you used to have, like that could have been it. It could have been something that you used to be within yourself, and before you, um, got to a place of just like forgiveness, of like unconditional love, right? Maybe at some point you used to be prideful and said, you know what? Is it really that? You know, you could have said, hey, let me adjust my crown. It's not, you know. So you could have a wealth of knowledge about, that's what I'm saying. So you have the gift of claircognizance, that psychic knowledge about other people, right? So it's time to open your vault door. So somebody's an incubus. So what I feel like what I'm picking up on here, though, Libra, is before I even lay the cards down, this is what I'm picking up so far. Before I even lay the cards down, I feel like Source may be using you to teach somebody something. Heart chakra cleanse. I feel like Source may be teaching you to teach somebody forgiveness, or like how to make some kind of connection. Here's take a leap of faith. hmm Somebody could have been fearful at first because you could be dealing with somebody who's very prideful. But Source may be saying, instead of being fearful, maybe like speak up. You could have been indecisive. Everything in moderation. So you may be praying about something. This is where this is why I mentioned in my readings polarity signs. Because a lot of the time people will say they don't get along with their polarity sign, right? So since I mentioned Aries being your polarity sign, I'm not talking about a particular Aries. If I mention polarity sign, I'm speaking. A lot of people will say, oh, that's my opposite sign. I don't get along with that sign. We're not talking about a person. You could be talking about a person. But I'm saying that because you want to look at the benefit of that sign, right? So here we have tossed something into a burning bowl. There's a benefit to knowing the light side of a zodiac sign, right? Just like it's a benefit to knowing the light side of the moon, right? So your polarity sign, like you all are a relationship sign, like you're balanced out, like you're the scales, right? So the two scales, like hell, you can teach people about healthy work-life balance. Aries is a very independent sign. Um, like they're the first sign, so they'll take a leap of faith, right? Even if it seems impulsive um, to some. So Source is saying you are going to take a leap of faith, even if to some people it may seem impulsive to you. So that fire was going to give you strength to do it. That sun outside is going to give you faith. You're going to recharge up under that sunlight, right? You're going to say, okay, I'm going to write whatever I'm afraid of, and to whoever it is, I'm going to pray about it first. Okay, Source, give me clarity because I know exactly who it is. Somebody may say, you may say you already know who it is, but just in case you're not really sure, I mean, you're missing somebody. Who do you want me to, talk to? All right, that person, okay, a little nervous because they prideful. They may just flat out say no. Not sure. Okay, let me write the name down. It could be names. Okay. They may say such and such. Oh, let me toss it into a burning bowl. Okay. I'm not nervous. Let me go take a walk, get up under the sunlight. We're going to toss something into a burning bowl, right? Let me gather my thoughts and we write it down, get some little, some little points, some little speaking points, right? So, yeah. Yeah, because when you say your enemy's playing backfire, that would be your enemy, meaning enemy of fear, because somebody is an incubus. So incubus would be like that somebody is battling their own demons within. So it's not like you're talking to that person, you're going up against their demon, like you're praying, like interceding on someone's behalf. Like you're praying, you're going up against someone's demon. So you're not calling them a demon, right? That would be highly offensive to a person. Like when people say, oh, that person's a demon. Like nobody wants to hear that. That would just, a person was shut down. You're going up against that spirit. So that's what you're praying for. Like you're saying, okay, you're helping them to adjust their crown. So when the unconditional love, whoever this energy is, um, that's in fairness. That's where the balance comes in. That's where the fairness and the balance comes in. Is somebody is struggling with something, and they struggling, like really really struggling with something. So the last thing somebody needs is judgment. The last thing somebody needs to hear is what's wrong with you. So somebody is praying for clarity. Your ancestors are proud of you. Somebody's asking for complete and total clarity. Somebody doesn't really know where it started, how far back it goes generationally. Nobody's pointing fingers, none of that. So something is really being met with sincerity, asking for, like, complete and total clarity through prayer and meditation. Something could have brought it out. If it's an incubus spirit, somebody they dated could have brought it out, but are you blaming them? No, not at all. It could have been music. It could have been, it could have been a chant that was said over and over and over again. It could have been anything, because words are spells. So something could have been said over and over and over again. Something could have happened. Somebody could have tried something new. Anything could have. So, but that's why you're being fair. Like I said, balanced out. Yeah, who is it? The King of Wands here. If somebody thought something was fun, they thought it was funny, to do something, but it just brought out a whole nother spirit, and it brought out several demons, within somebody, and so something is coming to an end. Something is coming to an end. Does somebody feel like they hit the jackpot? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they created something. Let's say like they were saving somebody. So a message is coming through. Somebody's getting some kind of a message. They wouldn't go back to something if they saw a pig fly. So that's a wish fulfilled. Yeah, so that's a wish fulfilled. So yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of wishes being fulfilled. So something, like I said, something was created, heart chakra cleanse, but um somebody learned how to save themselves. But in hindsight, somebody's seeing something they didn't see before. Yeah, so somebody is, moving on from something really fast. The distractions. hmm Of just demonizing energies. Somebody ending, demonizing, people's, like ending, I guess like demonizing people's, demonizing people's whatever. hmm Yeah. It's like mental health. hmm Now, who is this? Let's see who this energy is in the cards here. Mm, 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 mm. Ace of Swords here. So somebody is cutting somebody off. Yeah, somebody is cutting somebody off, or almost like giving them a nervous breakdown. Yeah, like giving a nightmare behind closed doors. Two people, I think. Yeah, this is a strange reading. Mm-mm-mm. So anyway, somebody's taking a leap of faith. Somebody's gonna be talking to somebody, talking to two people about something. Now that something is over, somebody's gonna be talking to two people about something, or three people about something, I guess. Two or three people, I guess. Anyway, but or I think we're talking to you, or somebody we're talking to you or something about somebody's family. At Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Hmm. Something about somebody being left out of something. Why somebody's left out of something? Knight of Cups. Hmm. So here's a Nine of Pentacles here. All right. Yep. So here's the World card. Okay, I had to make a little bit more room, Libra, because the camera cut off again. So we stopped at the World card, right? But um, I feel like you have something in common with what I was saying here before the camera cut off, and I realized the camera cut off. What you have in common is your enemy's plan backfire, and the enemy is always within. It's not outside of you. The enemy is always within, of kind of sort of being indecisive about just kind of sort of just knowing that you're free spirited, right? These energies, whoever these family members are, these prideful spirits, um, when people come from a family of free spirited energies, right? Because somebody didn't fall off the back of a turnip truck, right? These energies were posing as like so super religious energies. These are family members who have these prideful spirits, right? Um, who have these prideful spirits. All of this water right here is flexual energy, and I'm saying FL, but you can exchange that with the S, as in Sam, right? Also, it's very creative energy, and so some of these energies have creatively had people to have their backs, you know, in certain ways. You just have to have in common with certain energies that you're just free spirited with certain, like you, that's what you have in common with certain energies. So these energies, they're saying, oh, something was a nightmare because somebody was being an open book with something, because somebody is a free spirit. These energies all of a sudden creating something to save somebody, you know, making these immature comments about things and all of this. All somebody had to do was look at a timeline of events. That's all somebody had to do, look at a timeline of events, pictures, recordings, all of them. When did when did two energy become such a nightmare? When did two energy become such a nightmare? When did you and somebody become such a nightmare? Y'all became a nightmare when money came into play, when Nine of Pentacles came into play. All of a sudden, people needed somebody to save somebody. So it's just saying, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to tell somebody, is like all of a sudden everybody, you know, frantic because money came into play. Now somebody mentally ill because, you know, all this other, yeah. So anyway, an agenda. So you're welcoming today with open arms. You know, the whole purpose was to make you and somebody look like a complete fool. That was the whole purpose. So I'm saying family is everything. Source is trying to use you to, source is trying to use you to help something, like in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So bring some kind of clarity to something. But if you're free, you're free spirited energy or whatever. But the judgment, positive affirmation, using some kind of positive affirmations, but somebody's family is trying to act like they're holier than thou. That's what this is. Something went all around the world, but how in the world does somebody get some information? This is a complete setup. Somebody's trying to say somebody's family is the devil. Like, what in the world? Somebody's now saying somebody's family into devil worship. Let's see. Somebody's saying that it's a lot. This is a lot in the reading. Yeah. Somebody's saying that somebody's into devil worship. Made the whole family look like a fool. What kind of devil worship is somebody into? So this is what somebody is saying that you have in common with someone. Wow. Whose family is this? So I feel like you could be scheduling a vacation, because all of this pouring out, well, this is what this card says right here, whoever you are. feel like you're scheduling a vacation because all of this pouring out right here, somebody needs to replenish their water, like near salt water somewhere, just to kind of just do like a spiritual cleanse and just recharging and reset. Because my goodness, your sun sign again does not have to be Libra. This is even for my cross watchers, but people act strange when money comes into play. You'd be surprised how money coming to play. People all of a sudden they just the purest thing walking. Everybody just mm, their name begin with a saint. But the source is saying to you, I'm saying like positive affirmations, take a leap of faith. You like everything in moderation, you know. The judgment card is retrograde. Well, that's Pluto, by the way. That's Pluto. And like I said, you're welcoming today with open arms. For some reason, looking at this card here, I'm seeing page of, because I'm seeing like in hindsight, somewhere in hindsight, two people would have walked away from this. That's what I'm saying. In hindsight, two people would have said, "Psst, whoever these energies are, they would have walked away from this. They wouldn't have, they would have anything to do with this in hindsight." I don't know who the two people are, but two energies. I don't know who the energies are. You and somebody. I don't know who the energies are, but somebody would have just walked away. But anyway, but somebody has love coming across their path. Looks like it. So a lot of your wishes are being fulfilled, but all of this drama, child, this is a lot. I don't know who this is, but praying about it, you'll know. Praying about it, you will know. But all of this, somebody got to have somebody back, and just looks like a lot of drama. This is a part about reading cards. I try to keep it as high vibrational as possible. But this is, like I said, this physical part of it. People are just inspired by different things. People are just inspired by different things. Yeah, so that's why it looks like two cycles are closed out. I feel like now somebody's going to be more inspired by getting on a plane and just traveling. That's what it looks like here. So I feel like somebody may be redefining family. Yeah, traveling around the world. That's what I'm looking at here. Somebody going to be more inspired by traveling around the world. Yeah. And even in traveling around the world, people are going to be saying, change. Oh, yeah, they obsessed with traveling. You're darned if you do, darned if you don't. Child, what? They obsessed with traveling. They never at home. They always going off and gone somewhere. Mm-hmm. Chained to the plane. Anyway, oh my goodness, that's what I have for you. That's what I have for you, Libra. But can't help it. Just pray for people and keep it moving. But that is what I have for you as you get closer and closer to the full moon. Like I said, I do have some. Like I said, a lot of your wishes are being fulfilled. But like I said, the only enemy really is within, right? Like I said, so once you identify that people are just motivated by different things. This lion right here could actually be a person, or it could be an ancestor. Like you feel like you can feel like that is source. Like, you feel like you have the backing of source. Like you feel like people are praying for you. Feel like you have the support of people praying for you behind your back, or you feel like you have to physically have people physically, who knows, backing you. So whatever, it's up to you. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Bye.